What is up, guys? We're back at it again with another video, and there's been a lot of controversy going on after the 2023 Mr. Olympia, specifically around Derek Lunsford. There's a lot of people disagreeing with the decision of him winning the Olympia over Hadi Choopan and even Sandow, but mainly Hadi. Now, the Olympia was a great Olympia. A lot of shocking placements in all categories, to be honest, between men's physique, which I think Ryan Terry is a very deserving champion. He should have won quite a while ago, in my opinion. Then we saw the upset of what I would consider the entire show in 212. Keon Pearson being Sean Clarita, although we all kind of saw what they were going for, but still kind of wild. And then going into open men's bodybuilding, Derek Lunsford dethroning Hadi Choopan. Now, people are obviously of the opinion that you have to knock out the champ. Well, people don't think Derek did that, but he still won. Now, it's the aftermath of what happened after this decision was made. So initially, his social media account on Instagram was suspended, and people initially thought that he just took his social media down because he couldn't take the criticism, and a lot of people were coming at him because Hadi, you gotta understand, he's from Iran, and there's a lot of Iranians backing Hadi Choopan. That country loves bodybuilding. Those people really relish in the idea of having a bodybuilding champion in the country. And Hadi came second, so he lost. So the backlash was insane. I think it was just honestly a bunch of Hadi's supporters who mass reported Derek Lunsford's Instagram account. So it went from a temporary ban to him actually being permanently banned due to complaints. The amount of people that mass reported Derek was a lot, ton of people. And you can kind of understand, maybe if you want to make assumptions, where all of this mass reporting came from. We can assume that due to Hadi's reaction of walking off stage right after the first initial front double bicep pose with all top 5 competitors, he just took the medal off and walked completely off stage. He was visibly upset. I don't think he went out there and told his fans or anyone to go ahead and mass report Derek Lunsford's account, but it went from a temporary suspension to a permanent ban, which means his Instagram account is gone. He was someone that had over 1 million followers, and at this level, Instagram is going to make you quite a bit of money due to sponsorships, due to having a big following, due to the fact that you can advertise a product, service, or just anything that you're involved in and get quite a bit of sales on that, right? So it definitely is a pretty big revenue generator when you're at that level. But just a couple hours after this, he was on ban, and he does have his account back. So Derek is back. His account is live. He hasn't really made a statement or said anything about this at all. And I mean, obviously, we're just assuming the fact of Hadi fans were just so upset that they're mass reporting Derek Lunsford's Instagram page to take it down. And they were successful, but not for long. So I assume Derek appealed the mass reporting, and he got his Instagram account back. So he is back, if you do check out, at Derek Lunsford _ on Instagram. And he does have his page back. And honestly, the whole saga is pretty sad. You know, I want to say it's poor sportsmanship on Hadi's part. It all started with the fact of him walking off stage. I mean, you're giving a pretty bad impression overall, not just to your fans, but to the IFBB, to the hobby of bodybuilding in general. And a lot of people lost that day too. Samson came third. Brandon Curry is also a former Mr. Olympia who has yet to regain his title after initially winning it in, what was it, 2020, I believe? 2019, right? 2019, he won his first one. Rami won 2020, yeah. And, you know, you have people like Andrew Jack. Hunter Labrada has not been back in the top 5 from him initially placing, I think it was 4th. Was that his debut at Olympia? I believe so, right? Listen, there's a lot of upset competitors on that stage, and a lot of categories as well. I mean, Aaron Banks, he had to settle for, what was it, 3rd after winning the Olympia last year. From 1st to 3rd in a year. 2 guys who he beat last year beat him this year. There's a lot of upset people. But these people aren't out here walking off stage, taking off the medals, at the very least, not on the Olympia stage. We've definitely seen it before. We've seen it at lesser shows that I don't want to say aren't as important, but I mean, come on now. The Olympia is the biggest stage in bodybuilding. It's happened before, but it's very rare to see that on the Olympia stage, especially in the opens men bodybuilding category. So very poor sportsmanship overall, and I don't think that is the way that he should have conducted himself. And now there's a real conversation. Has he ruined his reputation with the IFBB? Has he ruined his chances to really ever be a contender? And I know a lot of people have this mindset of the fact of it's a physique contest. Why is there politics involved? I mean, the sport needs a representative for one. Whether it sounds bad or not, Hadi doesn't speak English. Hadi, for the past year, being the representative, hasn't really done much of anything in terms of promoting the sport of bodybuilding worldwide. Not just having a great physique, but also going out there and being a voice for bodybuilding in a sense. He wasn't there at the Pittsburgh Pro guest posing, which I know that is a very big event that all of the top 5 Olympians go to, especially Mr. Olympia. Big Ramy missed last year, but he was there this year. There's not much of anything that you can look at and say he did during his time being the reigning Mr. Olympia. And I guess it's hard to consider that that's a factor, but it kind of is, right? You've all heard people say the business of bodybuilding. You have to do the business. You have to be involved in the business. You have to show up at expos. You have to travel the world. All that's involved with what the title comes with. You're promoting bodybuilding. You're the face of bodybuilding. You're the best bodybuilder in the world. And I think at this point, people do expect certain expectations to come with that title. Although I don't believe there's any job description you sign once you win the contest. I think it's just a contest and you go home. It's not something you have to do by any means. You don't have to do anything. It's just a good look for you as a representative to do so. Hadi didn't do that, but Derek Lunsford, being an American, a very fluent English speaker, he's already doing a lot of this traveling. He's already guest posing at the Pittsburgh Pro. He's already doing a lot of these things. So the transition to just do what he's already doing, it's probably not going to be that hard, honestly. So I don't doubt that that probably was a factor in their decision. I don't see how it can't be, to be honest. But it's just a sad thing to see, the poor sportsmanship on stage and someone losing to a competitor that you can maybe say, okay, you can kind of see where Hadi should have won, but ultimately, I think Kai Green said it best, right? Shows are won from the back. And when it comes from the rear, it's like, yeah, that is Mr. Olympia from the back, which probably shouldn't be enough to win, but in this case, that might have been the deciding factor, how good and dry and grainy and developed he was from the rear in all aspects, from the arms, shoulders, the entire back, down the middle, glutes, hams, even calves as well. Everything was just conditioned, massive, wide, big, full, nuts, absolutely nuts. But drama in the bodybuilding space after the 2023 Mr. Olympia. Let me know down below what you guys' thoughts are. I'll see you next time. Like the video. Bye-bye.